Hello boys and girls, welcome back to this lesson. We're still busy with whole numbers, but today we're going to start with financial maths. Maybe a little bit of a long video, so please pause and re-look if it is a bit long. Now you're going to ask yourself, why do we have to do financial maths in school? Well, one day after school, you will start earning your own money. You maybe open your own bank account. You may want to buy a car, a house, go on holidays, start your own family. So it's very good to start knowing about all these financial principles. Now, let's look at a couple of definitions. And before I start, if you, for instance, want to start your own little business in school, you are going to produce bead jewelry and you want to sell it. Now, keep that in mind while we talk about these concepts. So let's look at profit. Now, yes, if you have a little business, you want to make profit, you want to make more money that you're going to spend producing that jewelry. So a profit is a financial gain, it's a financial advantage or benefit. It is the difference between the amount spent and the amount earned. And you want to earn more money that you're going to spend if you have a little business. Loss is the other way around. You're losing money on your product that you made. A financial loss, a financial disadvantage, and then the difference between the amount spent and the amount earned is not exactly what you want. You're going to spend more to make the product than earn. So let's now look at discount. You know discount, you know Black Fridays, you know all these sales at shops. So it is a deduction from the usual cost. It deduct an amount from the original cost. So that also means that the price you're selling it is going to be less than what the price that you used to acquire it. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about the selling price and the cost price. So think of your bead jewelry. When you produce a product, you want to sell it for more than what you use to acquire all the different beads and stuff that you're going to use. So the selling price will be the final selling price. This is the price after the increase. You increase your price after cost price, or it can also be after discount. So this is your selling price. It's different from your cost price. Now, your cost price is the original price of a sales item before your discount or increase. It is also called a cost price. So this is the price that the shop owner might pay to acquire furniture, for instance, and then you push up the price to sell it for a higher amount. So let's look at profit and increase again. So what I did here in this slide is I have a little memory markers here that I have done in one color. And I also want you to understand that in these formulas that we're now going to do, I'm going to work from the original price. If you like a challenge, you can swap everything around and work from the selling price if you want to. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to start with the original price and we work from there. So every time when I talk about a formula, the original price will be the item on the left-hand side. So if we have a profit and an increase, think about it. It is the increase of my cost price or the original price. The original price will be greater than the selling price. And because the original price will be smaller than the selling price because you are making a profit. So that means we need a smaller answer for the original price, and the multiplying fraction will be less than 1. Just remember these memory markers. You will see when we work with the formula what it's about. So the original price is the new selling price minus the profit. So let's look at the formula. I want you to learn this. I want you to stop the video, look at it again and learn it. But remember, I'm working from the original price. So we're still busy with profit. This is our two ratios or rates that you are comparing, the cost price to the selling price. And remember, the cost price is in profit less than the selling price. So I'm going to use X and Y. So these are your two ratios, CP over SP, it's your fractions, equals to X over Y. So the cost price will be the selling price times X over Y. Here you can see that fraction must be less than 1. Why? Because the cost price is less than the selling price. X will be 100 minus your percentage increase, and Y will be 100. So let's look at this example. So we have an increase of 15% in Max Store. A table is marked up to 676 Rand, 47 cent. What is the original price? There's our formula. So the cost price is equals to the selling price times X over Y should be less than 1, which is 85 over 100. Where do I get that 85? This is now the 100 minus the 15%. And this is less than 1 because the cost price is less than the selling price. You just substitute and you work it out with your calculator. I've rounded it off to 2 decimal places. So it is, the cost price is 575 Rand, which is less than the selling price. So now let's go to the other way around. Discount and loss. There's a reduction in the original price. So think of Black Friday. All the shops are now marking their prices down. So now the original price is greater than the selling price. We need a bigger answer for the original price, and the multiplying fraction should be greater than 1. So the original price is equals to the new selling price plus the discount. So let's look at those formulas again. Remember these memory markers. It's going to help you with your formulas. Now we have the ratios again. You know this formula. We've just done it. So the cost price is equals to the selling price, but now we swap the two around. We swap X and Y around. It's now Y over X because we want a fraction that's greater than 1. Why? Because the cost price is now greater than the selling price. Y is 100 always, X is 100 minus the discount. So let's look at this exact same example again. We now have a discount of 15% in Max Store. A table is now marked down to 575 Rand, and what is the original price? So you substitute your selling price, which is 575, and remember this formula should now be greater than 1 because the cost price is greater than the selling price, and there you can see the answer is greater. So you can also work out the discount percentage. If you have both the original and the new selling price, you can calculate the discount percentage. How are you going to do that? You're going to tinker with the original formula and you're going to swap and isolate. So there's our original formula. Learn this original formula. I've just substituted Y with 100 so long. Now to isolate X, which will be the discount percentage, I'm going to swap the two fractions around. And you have to do it both sides. What you do to the one side, always you have to do to the other side. I'm just swapping it around because I want to isolate X. And then you take the 100 to the other side, times with 100 both sides, and there's your formula. X equals to 100 times the selling price over the cost price. So go back to the example we just did and substitute your selling price and your cost price, and you will get X, the percentage discount, and you can just times it with 100 to make it a percentage. So we're now going to talk about taxation. So you're going to ask yourself, what is tax? You know by now we have to pay, all people that are working or earning money have to pay the government a tax because the government is delivering services to us. So we're going to look in this lesson to two types of taxation. We're going to look at value added tax and income tax. A couple of definitions that you need to learn. So income tax is paid by wage and salary earners. Income tax is paid by a sliding scale. The higher your salary is, the higher is the tax you're going to pay. Gross income is your total income before tax deductions. There's also allowable deductions, non-taxable contributions like pension funds, medical aids, charities. If you contribute to charities, it's not taxable. And we also have rebates, allowances to certain sections of the community, maybe a disabled person, maybe older people. There is rebates that's non-taxable. Remember, so your taxable income will be your gross income minus the allowable deductions. They will always give you a tax table like this, so you can see that people are paying different percentages of tax, and the higher their salaries is, the more tax they pay. So let's look at an example. So Jim earns 450,000 Rand per annum. That means it's per year. He pays 14% of his salary towards a pension fund. He also pays 2,200 Rand per month to a medical aid fund. And he's also allowed a rebate of 12,600. How much tax does he pay per year? And use the tax table. So let's take it step by step, and you will see it's actually not that difficult. It's very manageable. So let's look at the pension fund. So 14% of the 450,000 Rand income goes to pension. That is 63,000 Rand, which is not tax deductible. Medical aid, we said 2,200 Rand per month. So that will be 2,200 Rand times 12, which is 26,400. The taxable income will now be these amounts deducted from 450,000, and you end up with 360,600. But he's also having a rebate of 12,600, so that must also be deducted. So we end up with 348,000. Let's look at the table. Here is 348,000. So he's going to pay 31% on tax. And there it is. 31% of 348,000. That is your 0.31. You know 31% is 31 over 100. Times with the taxable amount of his salary, and that will give you 107,880 Rand. That is the tax that is going to pay the money, that is going to pay the government for the government services to the people. Let's look at the other type of tax. That is your value added tax. So you go to the shop, you buy things, or you want certain services from people. They will add the tax to the original price. So prices in shops already usually include VAT, but sometimes on a salary slip you will see that there's the price that you paid and the VAT will be shown separately, so you can look at that. For the purpose of this video, we're going to use that 50% as the VAT rate. Might change, but for the purpose of this video, it's 15%. That means 15% must be added to all the products. Now let's look at the formula. I'm going to go through this slowly. Make sure you understand this. Stop the video, look at it again if you need to. So the cost price is 100 units, no VAT added. Okay? The VAT is 15%, which is 15 units. So that means the selling price is now going to be the cost price, where there's no VAT added, plus the 15 units, which gives you 115. Learn this formula. So it's VAT to the selling price is 15 to 115, and you make your two fractions here, or your two ratios, equate them. VAT over selling price equals to 15 over 115. So let's do an example. Paul has bought a lawn mower for 11,199. Okay, So this is VAT included. That's usually what happens when you go to the shop, is you pay something and you know the VAT is included. Sometimes it's separate. Okay, now in this sum, they're going to ask you how much VAT was included in the price. Remember the formula. Remember the formula. VAT over the selling price is equals to 15 over 115. So now we isolate VAT by timesing both sides with SP. And the selling price is 11,199 times 15 over 115, which is 1,460 Rand and 74 cents. What is that? That is the VAT that was added. You can also work out now the original price without VAT. So that means you're going to subtract 1,460 and 74 cents from 11,199. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I did. And I see you in the next video where we're still going to work on financial maths.